Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled to have you here today because we are diving into what is honestly one of the most fascinating industry transformation stories happening right now. We're talking about the super ambitious launch of Riyadh Air. And guys, what we're witnessing here is nothing short of a massive luxury aviation gamble. It's this incredible story of high stakes, pure ambition, and a potential total rewrite of the rules for an industry that, let's be real, has felt kind of stagnant to a lot of us for a long time. Okay, let's dive into this. This new airline wants to be the world's best, but at the worst time. I mean, just think about that dramatic premise for a second. Launching a brand new airline from absolute scratch is historically, well, it's one of the most insanely difficult business ventures on the planet. But trying to launch a premium, top-tier luxury brand right smack in the middle of intense global turbulence? No way. That is such a bold move. It totally defies conventional wisdom. And that's exactly why we need to unpack the strategy behind it today. So here is exactly how we're breaking this all down. We'll look at the seemingly worst time to launch, unpack the luxury brand's playbook, check out how they're upgrading the passenger experience, look at redefining daily travel comfort, and finally wrap up with what this all means for you. All right, part one, launching at the worst time, navigating global turbulence. To really wrap your head around what Riyadh Air is attempting here, you have to look at the sheer gravity of this battlefield. The global aviation market, it's completely saturated. Everyone's just fighting tooth and nail for the exact same airspace and the exact same passengers. Throw in the macroeconomic global turbulence, shifting economies, unpredictable supply chains. It's a mess. Plus, you've got these entrenched legacy carriers. These are massive, massive brands that have locked down their territory for decades. Oh, and don't forget the sky-high capital investment risks you need to take just to get a single plane off the ground. This is the global turbulence the sources keep pointing out. The stakes here literally could not be higher. Moving right along to part two, the luxury brand playbook, a new approach. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift we're seeing. See, the traditional playbook for legacy airlines over, say, the last 20 years, it's been a bit like a cheap roadside motel. It's all about aggressive cost-cutting, cramming in as much passenger volume as possible, and offering a totally standardized, honestly uninspiring service. But Riyadh Air's approach completely flips that script. Think of them like a sleek, brand-new, high-end boutique hotel setting up shop on a street filled with those tired old legacy chain motels. They are not trying to compete on who can offer the cheapest room, not at all. They are competing entirely on the quality and the feel of the experience. Which brings us to part three, upgrading the passenger experience, the disruptor playbook. So how does this actually manifest when you step inside the cabin? Well, think about the pain points we all know too well. Your standard modern flight is completely focused on capacity, literally squeezing in as many human beings as legally permitted. Riyadh Air pivots that focus entirely back to passenger comfort. Instead of a strategy based on bare minimum amenities, where you feel lucky just to get a lukewarm half can of soda and a tiny napkin, they're leaning hard into premium brand differentiation. They're making the amenities the actual reason you want to fly with them. And instead of those cramped, purely utilitarian environments we've all just sort of begrudgingly accepted, the disruptor playbook here demands a totally redefined luxury standard. It's an absolute night and day shift in priorities. Let's look at part four, redefining daily travel comfort, the passenger journey. Here's how that vision actually plays out in reality, step by step. When boarding, instead of the chaotic cattle call we're all so used to, imagine entering a calm, boutique-style environment from the very first second you step onto the plane. Then, once you're in flight, it isn't just about zoning out, staring at the seatback screen in front of you to pass the time. It's actively experiencing a premium, differentiated service that makes the flight genuinely enjoyable. And finally, landing. Get this, because of that elevated focus on comfort, you actually arrive at your destination refreshed rather than completely exhausted. It's a beautifully holistic approach designed to soften the harsh reality of modern daily travel. And finally, part five, what it means for you, the average flyer. Now, you might be sitting there wondering, okay, this sounds incredible for folks flying first class on an unlimited corporate budget, but actually scratch that. I just want to go on vacation without breaking the bank. So does an ultra-premium airline launching in a turbulent market actually change how you fly? Does this really impact your next family trip or your standard cross-country business flight? So the crucial point is,
Absolutely yes, it for sure does. Because luxury disruption forces the entire industry to elevate their daily comfort standards. It's basically the trickle-down effect of market disruption. When a flashy new player enters a completely saturated market and starts stealing customers just by treating them better, the old entrenched legacy carriers, they can't rely on their tired, cramped and utilitarian playbook anymore. They are literally forced to respond. They've got to upgrade their cabins, they've got to improve the food, and they have to totally rethink their customer service just to stay alive in the game. So even if you never book a ticket directly on a luxury disruptor airline, their mere presence in the market forces your usual go-to airline to step up and do better.
Which leaves us with the million-dollar question. Will Riyadh Air's massive luxury gamble actually force legacy airlines to finally upgrade your passenger experience? It's a monumental business risk to launch it with the sources call the worst time. But hey, if their luxury playbook actually succeeds, the biggest winners might just be all of us sitting right there in standard economy, finally getting that upgraded experience we've been waiting for. Definitely keep a close eye on this one, folks. Thank you so much for exploring this wild topic with me today, and I will catch you on the next explainer.